Alright, peace, y'all. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. What's good? God damn it. Pardon me, man. Mosquitoes is, whoo. I underestimated them. Peace, love, and light to the chat. Yes, sir, I'm in the A. God damn, man. Yeah, man, so much going on, you know what I'm saying? I talk to myself a lot. I hear a lot in my head in terms of internal conversations about all of these things that are going on in the world, all of this stuff going on in my timeline. And, until I hold it in until I can't hold it in no more, or I might go crazy. You feel me? So that's when I don't do this often, but when I do it, you know that it's cathartic. You know what I'm saying? It's not only to let off steam, it's to open up dialogue, but it's also for my own mental wellness. You know what I'm saying? That I have an opportunity to dialogue and talk and try to make sense of all of the craziness that's going on in the world. You know? And some people are better at this than me. You know what I'm saying? They're adherents to chaos magic, and they can find order in all of the disorder. You know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody such as myself or people of my ilk that are looked upon as thought leaders, or people that occupy the front lines, or other people look towards to make sense of the craziness. You know what I mean? Like, we constantly have to reevaluate and check ourselves, and you always got to take the temperature of society to get a better gauge of what the hell is going on out here, so you don't be totally disconnected from the very people who you're talking to or talking about or talking up for. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that I've been speaking to lately, they just expressing their doubts. Like, yo, I doubt if black people is ever gonna get it together. I doubt if we ever gonna have unity. You know what I'm saying? I doubt if, we're ever gonna quote unquote get it, whatever quote unquote it is, whether it is, the it that the people don't get is that the power is in the people, the power is in unity. You know what I'm saying? Putting your time and your energy in boogeymen only amplifies the mystique of boogeymen. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, you can step back and look at a lot of what's taking place right now. I always say, yo, a lot of what we witnessed that we're going through is the result of very successful marketing. You know what I'm saying? As a child, I can remember how white male hierarchy was marketed to my generation through wrestling, G.I. Joe, westerns, or the fallout from westerns. Like, I consider Rambo westerns. That's modern day westerns. You know what I'm saying? White men with guns. You know what I'm saying? We were sold this story of machismo, of bravado, that went along with the Western white male experience. I remember we were sold or marketed this idea of the image of beauty being blonde-haired, blue-eyed women, and that was done through clever advertisement. That was done through media. That was done through, Charlie's Angel with Heather Locklear. That was done through Dynasty. That was done through, Charlie, you know, all of these goddamn, with other shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? All of the Hollywood junkets. You feel me? You know, Superman felt that the white woman was worthy enough for him to go and fight interdimensional creatures, but come back to Earth to make sure that not only was she saved, but she got to work on time. You know what I mean? All of these spells were cast on us. You dig what I'm saying? So the results of what we're dealing with today, to me, is a result of clever marketing. You know, step back, take 2 steps back. Yeah, Wonder Woman, He-Man, you name it. You know what I'm saying? And there's many more instances where we can look at what was put before us as the ideal images of quote-unquote beauty or things in society that you should attain as tokens for your success, right? These things were marketed to us. Barbie, you dig what I'm saying? All of this stuff was downloaded in our psyche. And I say marketing because these things weren't necessarily word for word told to us. Sometimes it just comes across as something that you observe in passing. Sometimes it's just on the billboards. Like I said, sometimes it's just what you see on your TV screen, and you're left to fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? You're left to make sense of it all and to fill in the blanks. So these things were successfully marketed to us, and I can tell that it was as a success because you look at the results later on in society. The fact that when melanated men gain a level of success or acceptance in society, the thing that they do to accent, right, or accentuate that level of success is they go and get them a token. You dig what I'm saying? So all of these things we can look at in society and see the effectiveness of them. Fast forward to last week, there was a confluence of conversations taking place around quote-unquote blackness and the black struggle, right? Or we were collectively supposed to gauge where we're at as a people in a society because of the 1619 Project, right? Because on August 20th, 2019, it marked a 400-year period of our quote-unquote captivity in a long forgotten forbidden land, right? Coinciding allegedly with the prophecy that's in Genesis 15:13 about the children of God, right? Or the children of Canaanite for that matter, being captives in a foreign, a far away foreign land, right? So they liken that to the quote-unquote so-called blacks here in this country, okay? So while we're to be taking this litmus test, we have a confluence of things that are going on in the black collective, right? On one hand, you have the NFL situation, right? In the latest iteration of it, the NFL situation is by itself. The latest iteration of it is the developments that have come forth with Jay-Z and what have you. Then you got Popeye situation, right? Now you got Dave Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? With some very, how can I say it? Some commentary that I believe it was intentionally designed to hurt people's feelings, you know, but that once again exposes us to the fact that we are very emotional people, you know. Aquarius Maximus, the sister Aquarius Maximus, shout out to her, based on her astrological research, she said that if there was an astrological sign that governed melanated people, she said that it wouldn't be Leo, right? Which I've heard of a lot of the teachers say previous to her. You know, they love the symbolism of what Leo represents in terms of black men or you know, even black women, the lioness for that matter. She said it would be more Cancerian, Cancer, right? Dealing with the fact that black people are so emotional, you know what I'm saying? And they're more of a people who are connected to their mothers, right, than any other people on the planet. And we identify with our origin points being the motherland. You know what I'm saying? Also, Cancer's connection to the orientation of this country to the Sirius constellation. Because a lot of people would love to believe that this country wasn't specifically designed for your melanated black ass, and it definitely was. This is a Masonic experiment of which, you know, you are Exhibit A. Okay? So, you know, now I'm seeing KFC has now come forth with the Beyond Chicken, right? And the line is off the chain, right? And I don't want to be the person, you know, that's always complaining about something. Yes, Hiram Abiff, right? You have to play the act. You have to play the character. You have to play the role. Who was Hiram Abiff but you? But the melanated man who was buried in a shallow grave, right? Who was rendered, or should I say, robbed and killed by the three ruffians, right? And for people that are looking at this and don't know Masonic symbolism, you know what I'm saying? We could be here all day getting into what that means metaphorically, astrologically, alchemically. You dig what I'm saying? It has all different sorts of ramifications about who you are, who you were, and what your potential is to be. You dig what I'm saying? And why that's the biggest Masonic secret. So Cancer's connection would be to the Cancer constellation, of which you find the Sirius star system in, and that's allegedly where your people come from. Okay? We're talking cosmic. We're not talking anything terrestrial. We're talking about a time before time, right? Where you came from, where your seed came from. And this is not a secret, you know, to the people who are the keepers of the secret. You know what I'm saying? So, how do the people like go from a conversation dealing with Dr. Sebi and the anticipation for the documentary, you know, to being so easily swayed into providing free publicity for Popeye's chicken, right? That amounts to maybe, what did they do, 30 million in profit? That's all. We're talking about marketing at the end of the day, right? We're talking about marketing at the end of the day. And then the confluence, again, of all of these stories and these narratives on top of one another. So this also came at the same time when the Amazon was on fire. Come to find out that Popeye's Chicken is owned by a Brazilian company, and media saying, oh, it's the cattle ranchers that are doing the burning of the fire. But the burning of the fire, the deforestation, is not only for cattle farming, it's also for them raising these goddamn chicken, right? That these corporations, these multinational corporations own, you feel me? They're clearing the earth out to raise more of this GMO mutated chicken, maggot infested chicken, to bring into your neighborhoods and feed you and clog you up further as we're going into 2020. And people are volunteering for this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to play the mightier than thou, holier than thou. You know what I mean? Because my shit is like, look, you know, if chicken is synonymous with something that melanated people do, like, where's Big Mama's recipe? You know what I'm saying? Where's her franchise at? Like, we don't even got a fucking elbow in the race. You know what I'm saying? Like, who allegedly, supposedly cooks chicken better than us? So we went from going to Chinese people to eat chicken, right? Because when I was eating chicken back in the day, shit, I was going to the Chinaman. You feel me? To get my 4 chicken wings and fried rice. We went from the Chinaman to the Indian. You dig what I'm saying? Because now he controls Crown Fried Chicken, Kennedy Fried Chicken, Arizona Fried Chicken. You feel me? And now we back at this nasty motherfucking cracker who we know that he can't even wash his ass properly, but we're going to trust him. This nigga that Colonel Sanders that looked like he just came off a fucking plantation, right? We're going to trust him with the consistency and, you know, the higher standards of how our food is prepared to an extent where they can't even keep up with the fucking demand. In an election year, heading into this whole Trump shit, when these people, the NFL players, the motherfuckers that own these food franchises from Papa John to KFC and the rest of them are all Trump supporters. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say totally no to fast food, but I'm a realist. I know that people are not, at the sound of my voice, gonna stop eating chicken. Chicken was one of the toughest things for me to let go of. You feel me? Look, I had some of that shit last year. Right? When I was in New York, my man, he makes halal jerk chicken. Right? He took it a step further in terms of the standard of which the meat was prepared. It was seasoned with herbs, moringa, and all types of other shit, you know, and we were out there preparing food for the residents of Bronx to make sure that they weren't going to the Indians or the Chinese. We was at least giving them an operative alternative in real time for them to make transitions, right? Rather than us just telling them, yo, you supposed to go cold turkey from X, Y, and Z. That's not realistic. Right? So I tasted this shit, of course, because I was hearing so much about it. And the people was like, oh, this is amazing, and what have you. And it did. It tastes very good. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm on. So I'm not afraid to say that I tried it once or twice. You know what I mean? I would rather the people indulge in that than go to the Korean, than go to the Indian, and definitely, you know what I'm saying, the European. I'm going to tell you the number one reason that I went vegan, right, is because the more my research revealed to me of who this adversary is and the nature of him, I could never trust him with any food item, right, especially a meat. I started seeing the documentaries and seeing not only how he lives, but how he deals with the stuff that he calls food and he's preparing and his farms and shit like that. And I'm like, I could never in my spirit do what I do and stand on the fucking ground that I stand on and go and eat the food that he eat. Now, some of them niggas that's out there with the bull horns and the motherfucking boots on the ground and making all the noise in the world, Black Power, all of that shit, these niggas is eating from crackers, right? Eating from crackers right out of their hands. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking Klan might as well be pulling up in them goddamn trucks. Because in Harlem, in the Bronx, and any motherfucking melanated area of the city, that's where you're going to get the worst meat. I remember when we went to Detroit and they had 99-cent meat packs in the supermarket and the fucking meat was purple. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I remember going to Newark and seeing the same shit. Anywhere where there's high crime. Case in point, look at those Popeyes where they're popping off and fighting, right? You don't see that shit at juice bars. And I be at juice bars where some of the most gangsterous niggas be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got pistols over there, and you've never heard of no shootings, no robberies, or nothing, right? All of these elements are allowed to be around one another, and the chemicals are not inside of them just snapping and making niggas pop off. But the element of danger is always present, right? I don't know what brought these niggas to want to have smooth, but these niggas be on the smoothie wave these days. So they be at the juice bars in Harlem all the time. But look at KFC. Look at Popeyes. Look at the Crown Fried Chicken. That's where, you know what I'm saying? When the fucking shit's yellow taped off 2 in the morning because somebody got their brains blown out. It's always connected to the food. Very rarely are you going to see something pop off while people is going ham. You know what I'm saying? And there's not alcohol, food, and liquor involved in particular. And that food, more than likely, is motherfucking chicken. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of things that people need before they totally go vegan. Emotional intelligence counselor is one of them. But a thorough detox, right? A parasite cleanse is the first and foremost. You dig what I'm saying? Parasite cleanse is the first and foremost. Because if you're looking at them videos of what's taking place with these chickens that have the parasites or the maggots, whatever the hell that is crawling around in it, that's what's taking place, right? That's what's internally infesting the people, and that's what you see acting out. You see people's parasites acting out, and they come into the fisticuffs like, oh, hell no, you're not getting that last piece of chicken. That's they parasites acting out. You feel me? So it's like, for people that front line, for black people, like, there's mad shit, case studies, just from last week that you can step back. And you like, oh, these niggas is electing rappers, they're leaders. You know what I'm saying? They're electing athletes, they're leaders. You know what I'm saying? These niggas will fucking throw you over the motherfucking boat for some chicken. You dig what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that is admirable about melanated people other than the babies. And that's a whole nother story. There's nothing admirable about melanated people in 2019. And this is 400 years since captivity. And niggas look worse today than slaves possibly could have looked in 1619. And not to, let me clarify that statement. Not that slaves looked worse or looked in a particular state and condition, but we have a tendency to believe, oh, they were victims. They were helpless. They were in captivity. They couldn't do for self because of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they were somebody's bitch. You dig what I'm saying? But they were honorable. They were family oriented. You know what I'm saying? They were capable enough to holding a charge long enough where even if their traditions were beat out of them or they were deprived from it, the shit still popped up generations later, right? They still were closer enough to the original article where I can look at them and say, that's the original man, right? But a person, let's even say such as myself, right? I'm fucking mad different graphs removed from being the original man, my nigga. You dig what I'm saying? There was a level of miscegenation that took place in my bloodline. I'm quite certain of it, right? There was an interruption. You dig what I'm saying? There's some sort of cracker somewhere in this motherfucking vein, in this blood. I'm just being honest. And we should all be honest about that, right? Because the ones who were the most defiant, the ones who were the most resistant, they didn't make the fucking cut. Their bloodline was not propagated to where we are right now. We are a result and remnants of people who were compromised to some fucking degree. And that shit is coming to the surface 400 years later. Right? I'm just being fucking honest, like as if we don't have no more time left. Right? I said every time I get on this camera, I'm going to talk like I don't even have no motherfucking clue what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to just leave it all out because I feel that the only thing we can do for one another if we're allotting, if I'm taking a little bit of fucking of your time away, you know, which is a percentage of your life, the only thing that I can do that's equitable to reward you in your time is to give you something motherfucking real to walk away with. That's it. So I'm going to just lay it out every opportunity to have a chance to. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the fuck tomorrow's gonna bring. You know what I mean? And the shit is just getting to a point where it's like, it's very hard to do anything but bare your soul and to speak in a way in which, you know, somebody, possibly just one person, could benefit from hearing the honesty and the transparency in my voice, to be like, well, goddamn, you know, like, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. It's like, you know, you gotta find something that renews your love for this mission every single fucking day, because when you see shit that you see, it's deplorable. It takes the air and the wind out of you. You know what I mean? And you like, yo, I'm not even in a position to attempt to trust my people, because they just gotta deprive them of some chicken and they're gonna fold. You know what I'm saying? They put a pistol in their hand. I mean, I'm looking at a level of depravity in terms of the way that the food has the people turned inside out. You know what I mean? And I used to be addicted to chemicals, you know, by way of food. And I know what I would do to a nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you kept me away from food long enough, you know, and you fucked with me to be like, nigga, you know, this is what you gotta do to get this 8-piece with a biscuit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go upside your head. Right? Because I had a chemical dependency. You know what I'm saying? Same shit liking on to what you see with people on heroin, crack cocaine, all that. You know what I mean? I had a dependency. I had a dependency on white sugar. I had a dependency on, you know, what was it? Like I said, I love chicken. You know what I'm saying? White flour, white starch. You know what I mean? So it's very hard, you know, even to advocate this level of a lifestyle, because even the meaning of, I can't even utilize certain terms no more because they don't mean the same thing. So even when I say, oh, vegan, you know, that shit has been compromised. When I say plant-based, you have to be mad specific. You know what I'm saying? That shit has been compromised. You know, and when we see the utter destruction that's taking place on this planet, you know, for profit, it's like when we advocate particular foods to eat that's in line with what people feel the Sabi stood for and what he was advocating, those are exotic fruits, you know what I'm saying, that you get from the paradise, you know, that we call the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? There's certain herbs that only come from the Amazon. They said that they only were able to tap into 1% of available herbs in the Amazon. They have only been able to study 1%. And out of that 1%, 25% of pharmaceuticals on the market are relying upon that 1%. Just that 1%. Right? Just that 1%. So with a loss of that magnitude, you know what I mean? Where are these herbs gonna come from? With a loss of that magnitude, you know, in 3 or 4 years, you know what I'm saying? Where are these exotic fruits gonna continuously come from? If the air quality has been compromised, if the water source has been compromised, you know what I'm saying? If, you know, all of this stuff that was already scarce is now going to experience a level of strain. And this is not even addressing what's going on in the Congo, right? The Congo is burning. You feel me? The Congo is burning at a rate that far proceeds what's going on in the Amazon. But of course, we know why there's no coverage of that. You know what I'm saying? We know why there's no coverage of that. This is not a mystery. You feel me? And I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but I'm like, you know, we ain't supposed to speak real in place of what? For niggas to continue conversations about whether Andrew Luck made the right decision, for saying, I don't want to be in the NFL and, you know, be a fucking vegetable at the end of my career for the bag. You dig what I'm saying? We not have this conversation in place for what? For them to talk about what took place on Ratchet TV last night. You know what I mean? I went on Netflix last night because I was looking for a documentary that somebody recommended about the Amazon. And then I seen Dave Chappelle face up there. I was like, where did this come from? I didn't hear nothing about it. I just clicked on this shit. I didn't know what I was getting into. I fell down a rabbit hole, man. You know what I'm saying? I fell down a rabbit hole. I had no idea that this nigga had permission to get into his old school David Chappelle, Eddie Murphy raw bag. Like, you know, everybody got the business in his new comedy series, his special. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting a lot of flack today because of it. You know, mainly because media, as we can see, media is run mainly by liberal Jews at that. You know what I'm saying? And they seem to have, you know, they have their favorites. You know, they got their favorites. You know what I'm saying? And he was uncompromising. You know what I'm saying? He washed up their favorites. It was, yeah, his special is not politically correct in no sense of the word. You know what I'm saying? He destroyed all notions of political correctness. You feel me? He talked crazy about everyone and everything. You know what I mean? He went ham on the LGBT. It was funny as fuck though. You know what I mean? And it started off with him going off on Anthony Bourdain or what have you. Now this is a white man that black people love, so I had already known from the first 2 minutes. I was like, oh, we in uncharted territory. People, period, love Anthony Bourdain. I'm like, he touching on shit that's off limits. You know what I mean? And it didn't stop. Who we talking about? We're talking about the Dave Chappelle special that just hit Netflix yesterday. You feel me? If you have delicate feelings, you know what I'm saying? If you one of these very delicate millennials that might slit your wrist because you feel totally offended, please don't watch this, because he offended anyone and everything. You dig? Yeah, he washed everybody. You know, he washed everybody. But I remember, like, when I was younger, that's what comedy was about. You know what I'm saying? Comedians were able to look at society, right, and strip down the hypocrisy in what exists in society and give it back to us in the form of jokes. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what he did, right? No, you might not have seen anything offensive, but let's be clear, there's so many different target groups in this country. There's so many different, you know, demographics, if you will. You know what I mean? They got a word for it that I'm missing. It's a word in advertising, you know. But yeah, there's so many different groups in the country. You might not belong to any of those groups, so you might not have seen any offense in it. But yeah, he went for the jugular on this one. You know what I mean? and he looked so comfortable doing it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the Dave Chappelle that we were all accustomed to. For those of us that grew up on Dave Chappelle as a comedian, you know, unapologetic, you know what I'm saying? He's sort of a loner. You don't expect him to have any friends in the industry. You know what I mean? So nothing is out of bounds for him in his comedy skits. This is why we love the Chappelle show. You know what I mean? And he didn't disappoint on this particular one. But if you're one of them target groups, I'm sure that, you know, it'll be offensive to you or what have you. You know, he's definitely not going to get an invite to Afropunk. You know. And yeah, you know, because of how Black Twitter operates, and you know, this is the same people, mind you, this is the same people last week who made Popeye $30 million, they gave them all of the free advertising and marketing that their ad dollars could not pay for. Black Twitter, they said thank you. They said this was responsible. Black Twitter was responsible for the Popeye craze last week. But today, Black Twitter is commencing to drag Dave Chappelle, right? They're in unison with liberal media, because liberal media is giving a bad review saying, oh, you don't need to see this special. Keep it moving. There's nothing to see here. You know, this is Dave Chappelle's worst special. No, it wasn't. They lying. You feel me? They in their feelings. He gave them the business, and now they trying to keep you from it so you don't have these talking points, so you can start punching holes through this motherfucking house of cards that they start building all around you, telling you that this is reality and this is society, when you should know better. You know? So, yeah, like, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. You know what I mean? We're going to get into a lot of this tonight on the Tough Talk Tuesdays. You know? It's been a month since I've done that show with my brother Ken Brisbane. You dig what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in rare form tonight. We're gonna be unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna say some things that need to be said that haven't been said. And that's that. You know what I mean? That's that, you know. I don't ever aim to hurt anybody's feelings when I open, you know, my mouth or share my thoughts. If that was the case, you know, you keep your thoughts to yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, social commentary is necessary. Social critique is necessary, you know, and all of this comes by way of observation, right? I got the same two pair of eyes that you do, right? My brain might be a little bit different, so I see things different. You know what I mean? But my aim is never to harm anybody. You know what I'm saying? My aim is never to offset anybody. You know what I'm saying? My aim is never to offend anyone. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I have some very interesting perspectives based on my observations, you know, and based on how I juxtapose reality together. You know what I mean? I don't look at things in a singular sense, and nothing to me is separate. Everything is attached to something else. So I have a very holistic view, and my ability to condense that into conversation allows people, you know, to break up out of the matrix. You feel me? That's why I'm the blue pill. So, you know, we're gonna do some of that tonight on the YouTube, right? Know the Ledge Media, Tough Talk Tuesday. You feel me? Yes, yeah, we have a podcast. Yeah, the bigger picture, the wider picture, the more encompassing picture, which entails past, present, and future. you know, and how everything is connected by an invisible thread. You know what I'm saying? Normally I'm utilizing the number 44 to establish that. Yeah, and if you on Black Magic 363, if you're a Patreon subscriber to Black Magic 363, I have a presentation over there. It's 3.5 hours. It's called 44 Decoded. You know, got into the whole conversation dealing with Kaepernick, Jay-Z, the NFL, the NBA, all sorts of things as it applies to the Law 44. Yeah, you should watch the Dave Chappelle special. Just be informed, be aware that, you know what I'm saying, the brother has no cut card, you know what I'm saying? There's no filter whatsoever on that special. You know what I mean? Yes, KFC has Beyond Chicken. In the line, I saw a brother's Instagram live of it earlier. The line literally was 2 blocks long. Literally. That shit looked crazier because I physically saw the lines for Popeyes because I was in Atlanta and we was driving around. What I seen for KFC, right? And they painted the whole shit green and white, right? In homage of the colors that tapping into the vegan market. They had a line for 2 blocks. You know what I mean? For the Beyond Chicken. And I'm not here to say whether that's, you feel me? I'm keeping my judgments out of that conversation altogether. You know, because technically, you know, if somebody's eating quote unquote vegan, you know what I'm saying? It's supposedly better than them eating, you know, cancerous meats, what have you, a chicken that has been grown in inhumane conditions or what have you, you know. But there's carcinogens in the Impossible Burgers. You know what I'm saying? They've already found cancer-causing agents inside of the Impossible Burgers, right? But that's not going to stop anybody from wanting to get slutted out, slutty vegan, right? Or going to Burger King to try the Impossible Whopper, right? So you got to play at your own risk. And yeah, you know, they might be going to get the Beyond Burger or the Beyond Chicken at KFC, you know, but like everything else in life, you got to play at your own risk, you know. At the end of the day, this is based on you and your sensationalism or the fact that, you know, you want to engage yourself in some form of stimulus, right? Stimulus runs our programming, period. We're slaves to our stimulus. You know what I'm saying? We're slaves to our stimulus. And I'm no better than you. Because I might have been able to wiggle out of the meat program, but I might have other shit that I'm a slave to when it comes to stimulus. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like I just came from Whole Foods. I was trying to get something to eat. Everything's cooked with canola oil, right? So they cooking you on both sides. So there's certain shit that you might do that it's like, look, you'd be better off going to get the fucking meat. You know what I mean? Instead of clogging yourself up with all of this unhealthy shit that's coming in the name of veganism. They trying to get you boxed in whether you go this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? Whether you go this way or that way, it's a catch-22 involved. You know what I mean? I don't know too much of what you should eat these days outside of sea moss, and god damn it, that shit is a whole industry now. Right? So it's hard if I'm not sitting there. I don't know where everybody's sea moss come from. You know what I mean? They could be buying it from the Asians, and the Asians grow hybrid sea moss. They grow farm-raised sea moss. This is not seed that's born in the ocean. Just like there's farm-raised fish, right? Tilapia and shit like that. And salmon is born, this raised in a tank. That's the same way that they grow in sea moss. You know what I mean? So you don't know what's what. I don't know what's real out here. Everything seems to be tampered with, right? Full disclosure, I got me some motherfucking oatmeal raisin cookies from Whole Foods, right? That's one of my vices. They vegan. Right? They vegan. But I can't leave them alone. Mama, they got Beyond Chicken at KFC now.
Beyond Chicken?
Yeah. You know, like the Beyond Burgers?
Mm-hmm. Oh, at KFC.
At KFC.
Wow, they really on something, huh?
They on the...
What? They really on to this vegan thing. They really messed up the vegans now, right?
Hey, the plant-based vegan market, and I shared this this article when we did a live the other day. I pulled the article up. The targets of the plant-based vegan market are not vegans, right? The target of plant-based vegan foods are meat eaters. That's who they're competing for. That's who they're going for. And by the line that I seen at the KFC, that's who they're connecting with. You know what I'm saying? It has been the failure on the behalf of vegans, right? Or vegan businesses that have not built a bridge to properly allow people to transition over. You know, the young lady, she hit a underserved market. The lady, the proprietor of Slutty Vegan, I think her name is Pinky, right? She tapped into something that was being underserved. When you go to Tassili's here in Atlanta, you can see that she's tapped into something that has been underserved, and that's the transitional market. Meaning, there are meat eaters who want to flirt with the idea of veganism, but vegans, right, as business people or proprietors, have not facilitated the proper interaction between them and meat eaters to say, look, you know, I made the right kind of meal for you. Come over here and try this out, free of judgment, right? Vegans are fucking elitists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're so fucking bougie and stush about the fact that they don't eat meat, right? Or they're supposedly fucking more healthier than you. You dig what I'm saying? Who want to be around them niggas? Like, nobody wants to be around. They're not inviting. They're not engaging. They're full of judgment. You dig what I'm saying? They think that they're better than you. You feel me? And they have created this schism in society where it's like, it's us and it's them, right? So if a person can go to an establishment called Slutty Vegan and still be the slut that they are and still try to embrace the idea of eating vegan, even though Pinky was on the radio saying, look, admittingly, she knew Impossible Burger is not vegan. She said she know that. She said, look, my shit ain't healthy. She said, this is like guilty, like a guilty pleasure. You know, she's like, hopefully when they finish over here, they can go to one of those more established vegan restaurants and actually get them some vegan food, right? So Impossible Burger is like a transgender burger. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it look a certain way, it tastes a certain way, but it's not what it's advertised as. Because they make the shit with heme, which is the active ingredient, and hemoglobin, which is blood, right? So they're taking the beef blood and mixing it with the pea protein, but the sprouts or some shit in the pea protein, and they're making the shit in the petri dish. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Frankenstein burger, a trans burger, something like that. Right? So yeah, niggas is bougie vegans, and they have not mastered how to bring their cousins and their uncles or their mamas over, right? And trust me, I know it all too well, because people is always coming to me talking about, yo, I want to get my mother transitioned into the lifestyle. Can she speak to Mama Pill? Can she meet her? She needs somebody that's relatable. I don't know how to explain it to her. She's not interested. The shit don't taste a certain way. It don't look a certain way. So KFC figured it out. Right? That's another thing. Nobody wants to go and have a vegan experience that they got to wait an hour and a half for. No shots to none of these restaurants in Atlanta that'll take forever in a day to service you food. But motherfuckers is on a lunch break. They want to fucking eat and still get an opportunity to go on media takeout and go all over the tea. You know, I got tea on this, I got tea on that. You got to wait online for an hour and a half to get your food. And the next thing you know, you got to go back to work. So they're going to lose mad business to Burger King. They're going to lose mad business to KFC. You feel me? Because people, especially the millennials and the generation before them, they grew up on some fast food shit. You know what I'm saying? They could go through the drive-thru. There's no vegan drive-thrus yet. Not here. Not here. Why have they not mastered this shit? Right? You could pre-prepare all of the Beyond Burgers and put this shit in the skillet same way that they do, right? And Burger King, and just slap, because they did this shit this weekend at the We Buy Black convention, right? They had one food vendor in there, and they had the Beyond Burgers, right? You was getting it fast food style. They had the burger, and then you go and get your toppings. They throw that shit together, boom, 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 get you up out of there. Why has no business figured that model out on some fast food shit, right? But Burger King figured it out, right? Carl Jr.'s figured it out. So there's mad opportunities for people that have, ideas about how to scale business, how to make service more quicker and better. You know what I'm saying? You can really make some waves in this burgeoning multi-billion-dollar market rather than seeing all the money go towards cattle ranches. You feel me? And motherfuckers is burning the forest and the Amazon, and for as much as I know, shit, probably even the Congo, right? So, yeah, Monsanto's still winning. Glyphosate, I think that's the name of the carcinogen that they found in the Impossible Burger. So all of that shit is coming from Roundup. So they're still using the Roundup to grow the soybeans that they're utilizing, or the whatever motherfucking part of the plant or whatever food group that the plant and the plant-based aspect of this burger belongs to is still being grown, on some GMO shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're still utilizing Roundup to grow that product. So yes, Monsanto's still eating. You feel me? I seen somebody say, you going roster. Or you going roster, what you gonna eat? Shout out King Simon. You know what I mean? It's not what you're going and how you're getting there. It's about where you sourcing food from and how you cultivating that food. Because if you go to Whole Food, that shit GMO. Right? I don't care if it's called, if it's labeled organic. Right? It's a hybrid food and it's GMO. You dig what I'm saying? I don't care what they telling you. Right? So you're gonna go Rasta and eat what? Rasta pasta? What you eating? What's your alternatives? You doing that to do what? They still eating carrots over there. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even adjusted to Sabi upgrade with majority of their food decisions. Again, no shots to them. I'm just saying, yeah, vital is vital. Granted. They're burning the forests in Siberia too. This is crazy, yo. crazy. You know? And then, you know, it gets to the place where people who do care enough, right, to speak about it, to speak out on it, what's the next step of action? What can we possibly do as a people who are infuriated enough where we want to see something actually get done? You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody have any suggestions? What can we do to help alleviate the situation of burning forests? You know what I mean? Because they're burning. And I remember the forest fire season on the West Coast just started. Just like the hurricane season just started. Because I remember 2017, I remember specifically how all of this started, right? It was the total solar eclipse on August 21st, 2017. Immediately after that, Hurricane Harvey, right? Immediately after that was Harvey Weinstein. So Hollywood started burning, proverbially through the fact that the person at the top of the pyramid got caught up in a sex scandal. 100 other people got implicated with him, right? Starting the Me Too campaign, then Hurricane Irma, then Hurricane Maria, then those hurricanes hit all of these islands with biblical undertones because these hurricanes were of biblical proportions, and then it started burning in California. You feel me? Leading all the way up until earlier this year, where they burnt all of the masters in the Warner Brothers studio, right? This was the biggest tragedy in the music industry that they have ever experienced, and no one knows about it because this is not a talking topic. And these niggas that's online talking about ownership of their masters and shit, they're not being honest enough to tell you that either their masters got destroyed in this massive fire, you can Google it, or the greats, all of the greats, their masters were destroyed in a fire that was deliberately set in the Warner Brother lots. So that's not even talking about all of the fires that swept through California that killed off the wine country, that, you know, were leveling out the weed country when Big Pharma and all these other people are now getting into the game. What do they call them? Direct energy weapons were used in some of these incidents. You know, they sued the PGE, the California energy company or what have you, because their smart boxes were exploding and causing some of these fires, right? So, I mean, it's just for the people who love this planet and love this opportunity, because this is a gift to be here at this time doing whatever it is that we're doing. We're blessed to be on the planet right now. Like, I don't want to leave just a legacy behind. I want to do something to show my appreciation for this fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? And not turn a blind eye to the fact that there's some demonic forces that are attempting to destroy this fucking planet that we call home. And we out here putting on, having babies to leave them to this shit. If we don't have the fucking answers, we expect them to find it. And some of these soft-ass babies that been born to, you know, in this tree hugger generation, they don't have no fight in them. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no fucking fight. So if we ain't gonna put up the fight for them, because we want them to live in fucking utopian paradise, what do you expect to happen? Real fucking talk. Go watch this Chappelle episode. At least you could get in your feelings enough to transfer that shit into something else real. Alright? I'll see you later tonight. Tough Talk Tuesday on Know the Ledge Media around 10 or 11 p.m. I'll put the flyer up. Alright? Peace, y'all.